So this is a follow-up to my first video, and yeah, um, I think I just want to keep talking about just hair, Black femininity, some of the topics I introduced in my first welcome video. So I'll be here. I'll be detangling my hair. Um, I did a consultation to get blonde hair. And uh, my hair is not in a state where I can just go straight to blonde. Um, and I also want to get locks. So, this is the length of my hair. I had I have natural hair now for let's see. I think I have natural hair now for at least I don't know, maybe 10 years. I don't even remember at this point. Um I cut my hair 18, so 12 years now. I have natural hair. So yeah, and decided I've always wanted locks, but I grew up in Ghana and people are very at the time when I was a teenager, I wanted locks since I was a teenager. At the time, people were very discriminatory about locks. A lot of negative stigma attached to people that have locks. Um, and their association with marijuana, drug use, like trafficking drugs and different stuff. So I always felt like I didn't want to get it because I didn't want to be targeted or put myself in a position to be targeted. Um, and later on, I think I just was having so much it's still always been something that I wanted, but I think now I'm just at a point where I don't want to keep putting society's perception at the forefront. And now it's a time where there's still stigma attached to locks, but it's not as bad as when I was growing up. And listen, I do not enjoy combing this hair every day. So I will be starting my love journey this Friday. Um so today is Wednesday, um July 22nd, and I will be starting my luck journey on July 24th. So I will keep you updated. I will do videos of how the hair turns out, how it goes. I'm actually pretty excited for starting my lock journey. Yeah, so I will be kind of detangling my hair um, while I just talk. So yeah, I just was thinking today, I think I grew up in a household that was kind of conservative, and um conservative but also very pro black to some extent. So I grew up with a mom, um God rest her soul, but I grew up with a mom who really enforced I don't want to say enforce, but really instill the idea of always, you know, having, what should I say? Always loving your skin color, your hair texture, your, ooh, look at my hair. Wow. skin color, hair texture, um, all the things about yourself as a black woman, and um, at the same time, I think would kind of negatively speak about like women who wore wigs or women who wore any kind of like extensions, and would say that, oh, that is a sign of like not loving yourself. um or even women who had too many like, women who wear a lot of makeup, just very fancy, do this and that, would often be viewed as like women that are promiscuous. Um, at least that's how a lot of women in my family talked about those women. And I think honestly, it has stopped me from living up to the potential of how I really want to look and how I really want to dress, because I've been like stuck in my head. I know the I'm detangling is honestly not the best. So don't come for me on how I'm detangling. But because I'm gonna have to go through several rounds of detangling. But yeah. And honestly, it's made me not really live up to my potential of how I want to look, because I don't want to put effort into how I look and how I dress and be perceived as promiscuous. Number one. Number two, there's this idea growing up that because putting effort into your appearance is seen as like, oh, you're trying to be promiscuous. It was always assumed that putting effort into your appearance as a woman, as a girl, even as a teenager, it was assumed that putting effort into your appearance meant that you're doing it for boys your age or potentially doing it for men. And it's like, I turned out gay, so none of that is accurate. But at the same time, it's like, why are we creating these ideas, especially in Caribbean households, that young girls are doing things for like boys or men? Like, that's one of the things that really frustrates me, because every time you wear a cute little outfit, every time you get dressed really nice, like people are assuming it's for a man or to get men's attention. And I think like, I still dress nice, but I find that I lean more on the side of like not wanting to dress up, not wanting to wear too much makeup, not wanting to do too much with my hair, like, and I save doing the most for birthdays, for my birthday, or maybe if it's like my partner's birthday, but I save doing the most for my birthday, or if it's someone else's birthday. Um, Basically, I save doing the most for a special occasion, and it's like, bitch, my life is a special occasion. Hello, um, so I save doing the most for special occasions, and forget that life is the special occasion. Um, and you know it's 2026. I just feel like a lot of these ideas are old and outdated. And I also feel like, you know, while my peers were able to like experiment with, different looks and different hair colors, different styles, different da 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 da. I mean, growing up, I had natural hair. I didn't get braids for the first time, like braids with extensions for the first time, until I was like 20, 21. Um, And I didn't wear a wig for the first time until last year, right? And it's because I grew up with these ideas that if you wear these things, there's a level of hatred you have for yourself and your hair and for being a black person. And I just feel like the like duality can exist, right? Like I don't know if I'm wrong for thinking this, but I just feel like duality can exist. I just feel like I can love myself as a black person and still want to wear my hair in a non like protective style or different style. I can love my hair and still wear a wig occasionally or from time to time. And I think that, you know, if I want to do like, because I could choose a wig that, for example, accentuates my features um, in a way that if I were to try to do that with my natural hair or do the same thing with my natural hair, it will probably cause a lot of damage, right? To get certain colors, to get certain colors and to get it to look a certain way, um, to manipulate it in a certain way that takes it out of its natural state could cause a lot of damage, right? So, for example, I could wear a wig that accentuates my black features. I don't think me wearing that wig means that I don't love myself and I don't love my black hair. The argument people have is like, oh, if you love your hair, you're gonna wear it out 24/7. Honestly, and this is something I've been thinking about like recently, but I think sometimes in conversations we don't allow for enough nuance. Not to say that there's some people out there that wear wigs that detest their natural hair, but that doesn't that what I'm trying to say is that that doesn't mean that everyone who does wear wigs hates their natural hair, right? Cuz I love my natural hair. Don't get me wrong. I love this shit. Like I've always loved my hair. Um I always love my hair. I always love taking care of it. It just gets to a point where I cannot stand combing my hair every day. I cannot stand combing my hair every day. Also, I don't think there's anything wrong with experimentation, right? I don't think there's anything wrong with experimentation. I don't think there's anything wrong with trying things out. I don't think there's anything wrong if you want to wear orange hair today, brown hair tomorrow, whatever. It's very hard to manipulate black hair in a way that you can, like, especially changing the color so often in a way that keeps it healthy. And again, I want my hair to be blonde, right? As I said at the beginning of this video, blonde is a color I can't get right now. So how would I get, realistically, how would I get blonde, right? I would either get blonde with bleaching my hair and not caring about it, not caring about the health of my hair. The hair, however you choose to wear your hair, should complement the lifestyle that you have. Whatever you do on a day to day basis. For example, one of my very high driving factors for getting locks right now is the fact that I love swimming, right? I love swimming. I love swimming. I love swimming down. I will swim every day. I should have been a fish, right? And with locks, I have the ability to like swim often, wash my hair, and my hair is still doing well, right? One of the reasons why my hair actually looks like so like kind of dry right now is because I literally washed it like almost 3 times in the past week because Um, I went swimming twice last week, and I went kayaking over the weekend, and the kayak turned over. Kayak turned over. Not gonna get into that. And you know, uh, it was fresh water, but I had to wash my hair after the kayak turned over. But the kayak turned over the day after I washed my hair. So I washed my hair, and I had to wash it again to wash out the kayak water, the fresh water, whatever. You get the point. But I literally cannot think of any other hairstyle would match that lifestyle. Like literally, unless I'm bald or have really short hair, I can't think of any other hairstyle that would match that. I think your hair should match the lifestyle that you want. I don't think picking hair that you like or wearing extensions or wearing wigs directly means that you do not love yourself or your hair, right? Everyone has preferences, right? And I don't think hairstyle preference is an indication of self love or self hate. I personally think that I feel like saying I personally is redundant. But anyway, hopefully there's no grammar police here. I'm sharing opinions. In terms of just having a preference for a hairstyle that you like and that you want, there's nothing wrong with it. I gotta see this every day. I gotta see this every day. I gotta look in the mirror and see this every day, right? And to have to like force yourself to like have a hairstyle or have your hair in a way that you don't feel good about or it doesn't fit your lifestyle doesn't make sense, right? And if I envision myself looking a certain way and being a certain way, and I feel like a hairstyle suits that and that suits that lifestyle, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And for a long time, I was like kind of beating myself up for wanting blonde hair as a black person because I was like, oh, like, are people going to assume that, like, I am like ascribing to some form of like whiteness or giving into like white supremacy or like white ideals of like beauty and all that. And it's like, honestly, I just like how I look with blonde hair. Do I also love how I look with jet black hair? Yes. Do I also like how I look with brown hair? Yes. However, I, in my experience, looking in my mirror at my reflection, feel like something about my hair being a lighter color actually accentuates my features more, my black features, mind you. Something about my hair being a lighter color accentuates my features more. And it also, you can't really see the color of my eyes here, but also brings out the color of my eyes. Now, if you ask me, I would tell you that some, per black person seeing me on the street could assume that I have blonde hair because I'm trying to ascribe to some sense of like whiteness, but that's not true. There's also black people with naturally blonde hair. But, I feel like sometimes I psych my own self out by worrying about what people would think about my choices and my decisions. And in psyching myself out about what other people would think, I am just actually not making a choice. So anyway, I went on and on and on about blonde, but I can't get blonde because my hair is not healthy enough to go. It's not even recommended. If anyone out there is trying to get blonde, it's not even recommended going straight from black to blonde. You should go in lighter stages. Coming from experience as someone who did blonde previously, as I mentioned in my last video. So, anyways, what is the conclusion from this? Because, I feel like I need to have some kind of conclusion. I need to wrap this up. What is the conclusion? The conclusion is that just wear your hair and carry yourself in a way that feels good for you. And I wish that's the message that my family had really instilled in me, as opposed to saying women who are like flashy, wear the long nails, wear the big hoops and the jewelry and the wigs are like promiscuous or like, you know, derogatory in some way. Um, I wish they just saw it as those women having a level of self confidence. And the same way a woman wearing her natural hair has a certain level of self confidence. And the same way a person wearing braids has a certain level of self confidence. It's like only you know how you feel inside. And obviously if you have a conversation with someone, you can tell how they feel about themselves. And excuse me, if you can sit there and like psychoanalyze somebody's like body language, for example, and maybe come up with like, maybe this is a body language of someone who has low self-esteem, high self-esteem, yada yada yada. But I personally think, again, redundant, but I think that whatever choice you make, there's nothing wrong with it. Body modifications, like, plastic surgery is a whole different topic, but there's a lot of debate online right now between like locks and wigs, and if you have locks you have the same hairstyle 24/7 versus like I can switch my wigs up. And it's like, you know kind of this like I feel like as black women it's unnecessary to argue about hair. Everyone's hair is like has a different texture, looks different. I might be 4C, but somebody else who's 4C has a completely different experience to me who's 4C, right? And if that person want to wear wigs, like there's nothing wrong with that. Um I don't think we need to ascribe all of these like traits to people based on like a hairstyle. I feel like this is exactly it's like a weird way to like stereotype someone like based on a hairstyle that they chose on that particular day, mind you. Because we know black women be switching their hair up. Even if you have locks, you could style your locks in 55,000 different ways, right? My hair looks like this right now. My hair did not look like this when I woke up this morning. I had a different hairstyle, right? So I think it doesn't make sense to sit here and judge someone for a hairstyle that you see them in once or twice, or you see pictures of them online and decide that this person doesn't love themselves, or this person doesn't like black hair, or this person whatever because they have a particular hairstyle, or you've never seen their natural hair. Um, what if they don't want other people to see their natural hair? What if they're so protective of their hair? Again, you never know unless you have a conversation with someone. And, you know, I think we should love black hair in all forms. I love seeing the fun hairstyles. I just love seeing black women, period. Um, and You know, whether that's a wig, that's braids, that's short, that's bald, like I love it all. I love it all. I love seeing it all. And yeah, sometimes I just feel like the discourse, of course discourse is like necessary. Um in general in society, conversations are necessary. I just feel like as it relates to black hair, the discourse around it, sometimes it's not necessary unless you are doing things that damage your hair. That's a different conversation. But if you're just doing something that you think looks good and makes you feel good, I think there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, whether that's braids, wigs, whatever. And this whole conversation about, oh, you can't wear this for your birthday, this is not a birthday hairstyle. A birthday hairstyle is whatever the hell you want to wear on your birthday. That's my opinion. Whatever you want to wear on your birthday is a birthday hairstyle. Because it's whose birthday? Yours. It's not the whole society birthday. And when it's other people's birthday, they can wear what they want to wear. So, anyways, I'm getting too worked up. I will continue detangling this hair, and I will see you guys in the next video.